do not work when somebody threatens you. Ownership works when you're out in the street. When somebody threatens you and you're used to being threatened and you can deal and control that emotion, now it's no longer memorized. It's ownership. You own that technique. You own because you know. And how do you know? Because you know. How do you know? I just know. It's much higher than my head. That's the difference between the art today and the art back then. One was ownership. Now it's memorized.
Absolutely. What are your opinions? There's a lot of bullying going on in these issues, and it's been a heartbreaking story in the news of a 13-year-old girl who was bullied in school and actually hung herself and is passed on. And we were at an anti-bullying seminar and event last night for Boo to Bullying. And what are your thoughts on self-defense and teaching the art of self-defense to teach kids and women and men how to protect themselves to not be bullied?
Well, first of all, you're talking about when being bullied means, hey, from the biblical days, it started. You want to control people, put fear in them. Right from the biblical days, right from day one. You want to control, put fear in them, and you control them. So bullies put fear in people to control what the outcome is of what they want. The point is, when the bully realizes that there's no fear, then it's no longer a bully. It's like, hey, I bark, I show my teeth, and all of a sudden they don't do anything about it. They leave. So bullying, just remember one thing. Bullying is an emotional thing, and if the bullies cannot put fear in you, they can't control. They cannot do what they're looking for their outcome. That's first of all.
Okay.
Hey? And second of all, it's about who's teaching you. Hey, we all look for heroes, we all look for mentors that make sense to us, but most of all feel right to us.
Yes.
And that's what everybody looks for, especially with kids.
And teaching the self-confidence and learning how to love themselves in order to get through these tragic situations as well.
That was a key word, love yourself. Because again, if you can't love you, how can you love anybody else or love anything?
Absolutely.
Hey,
So
there's laws in all of it. There's laws in all of it.
Absolutely.
Hey, and so the laws, who makes up the laws?
We do.
We do.
We do.
Exactly.
We're in control, and that's what a lot of us forget. As we go on, as you say, learn behaviors, being programmed in certain ways, watching certain shows, listening to our parents, watching people interact, being in society, listening to the news. I mean, it's all influencing us, so we have to be in control of us and control of our mind. I would like to know what your opinion of the word discipline is.
Discipline is something that you love and you stay to it. No matter how hard it is, how easy it is, when you love something, if you start something with love, you can never go wrong because you love it. But if you're doing it for other reasons, it's here today, gone tomorrow. So doing it for the right reason means I'm only doing it because I love it. And that's only the one way to do it, is because you love it, not because I want to make money or I want people to look at me or anything else. And that's, it's important that you love yourself first and learn how to love something that will discipline you to where you want to stay. And you're saying, why do you keep doing this? I love it. Why do you keep coming back to it? I love it.
Yeah.
But it looks like it hurts so much. I said, yeah, that's what I call a sweet pain.
Yes, I understand. And that's what people don't understand. They go, oh, why do you work out so much? And you're always in the gym, you're always exercising, you're always hiking or biking or doing it because I love it. Absolutely. I wouldn't think of anything else to do in my day. That's living.
And it's really true because, again, it's what the I am concept of what you say yourself from the time you open your eyes to the time you go to sleep, which is really important.
Absolutely. What we're putting in our minds is so influential. I listen to a lot of audios when I first wake up in the morning. My feet hit the floor, audios of only positivity and things that will motivate me and inspire me. I've listened to a lot of your videos, and thank you for what you've done over the years, and thank you what you've contributed to not only society but to so many people. And you have this facility here that we're going to be able to take a tour of. And I would would love for you to, kind of share with us what everything is and how it works and operates, and
Sure,
you can show us
absolutely.
around your
Love
playground.
to. Absolutely. Come on.
All right, let's do
Let's check
it.
it out. So, what's important is, first of all, in the gym here, we have, it's the reason for it. Like this, you're talking about, okay, it looks like the jungle gym, but if you cannot lift your own body weight, you shouldn't be lifting weights or anything else. And so here, it teaches you how to lift your own body weight. And that's what this is about there. Hey, and then the ring, which I call the square jungle, is I use that ring because what happens, there's only you and the person in there, and you have to stay in it. Hey, and then all the emotions that come up, the fear, the anger, the frustration. So that ring is just a metaphor of your home, your work, and so forth. It brings up all that emotion. So pisses a lot of people off.
I love the ring. I love boxing. I've been boxing for the last year now, and it helps me to get out of my head. It helps me to clear the mind. It's great exercise and conditioning, and it feels good to challenge yourself to learn something new.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but you can see where they're actually practicing on the other side of the jungle gym there. That is more where the bags, what the bags do, a lot of people don't understand how to use them, but the bags are used for different things. Some are used for rhythm, some are used for power, some are used for dancing, some are learning to use to gap, some are learning to use, snapping, different type of impacts and so forth. And so over there is really what it's all about, and so. And even, so we have different places where people can actually, the students can come and sit. When they're not in class, they can come and sit, and in their mind, they can go over. Because we teach a lot of meditation. We teach even the kids from 3 years old to 7 years old, we start them off in meditation. Why? Because first of all, we teach them what we call a concentration meditation, to where they can concentrate on whatever it is that they're doing long enough to learn. Second of all, we teach them a power meditation, to the I am concept of what do they tell themselves, where their power comes from, how can they actually receive that power, and then we go into the action meditation, to where physically now they're doing it and they're learning how to have the coordination of rhythm and timing. And so that's all happening right on that side here, and on the mats, as you can see, on these mats here is the main open. It's the main open where we all actually do most of all that.
Okay. That's phenomenal. I've never been in a facility, gym, dojo that's provided meditation for children, because quieting the mind is the biggest thing. I mean, to quiet and still the mind is one of the hardest challenges and disciplines in life. So for you to teach that at such a young age, that's so vital and so critical to their upbringing. And so that's phenomenal. And I love, we have some quotes up here, what is this school? And as we walked in, there was a quote on the door.
Exactly. As you can see right up here, that this is just for the students to look at as a reminder. And these are just quotes that almost like you're looking at a book constantly. So every time you're working, you get a chance to, what was that quote? What was that mean? And it brings it right back again. Because again, the I am concept is in the moment of now. Moment of now means, hey, not tomorrow. So everybody wants to go, well, when tomorrow comes, when next week comes, I'll be much better. I said, but what about today? Exactly. No, but tomorrow or next week, but what about today? So we teach the students to be in the moment of today, of the now, because a lot can happen in one day. Things change like that. And just because, like I said, if I had something to tell you that that you might not like, and I look in your eyes and I said, oh, she won't accept this. All you do is I'll just get you mad, and you tune out, and I won't, and you never heard anything anyway. So I will come back maybe an hour later, 2 hours later. I said, oh, I see your eyes change, that emotion. So I said, I have something to tell you. You might not like it, but and you say, really? Well, tell me. And then I tell you, and you say, you're right, I didn't like it, but at least I heard what you were saying. I respect what you're saying, even though I don't have to like it, but I heard you.
Yeah.
That's what's important. Teaching these kids, teaching the students, is to be able to turn themselves inside out, to mirror their truth. And to mirror their truth, a lot of people don't want. They say, man, I spent a lot of time numbing that. I spent a lot of time drowning it out. I spent a lot of time trying to forget.
Yeah.
But I said, you know what? Everywhere you go, there you are. You can't run from you.
Exactly.
And here, I said, you cannot run from yourself. I said, we're going to turn you inside out. Even though you don't like it, but you'll learn to love it. Because you realize that is what you've done, but that's not who you are. That's what we teach here.
Absolutely.
It's who you are.
That is beautiful. And being in the present moment is, again, what you say, because we're so busy and lives are so busy these days, and parents don't have time for their kids, and kids, are getting into trouble and things like that. As I was a rambunctious child as well, so I could really relate to you. Yeah. My parents were like, what are we going to do for this girl? I played soccer, baseball. I played every sport there was on the planet, track and field. I did everything to try to quiet me down and tire me out, but it didn't work. And still as an adult and coming into martial arts, I've learned to, again, inside out, I get that because I've mastered a lot of things in my life. And so coming into an environment like this and learning martial arts and boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, for me, what I loved about it is it challenged me to learn something new and keep learning and learning and learning. I'm very uncomfortable because I'm not good at it. I'm competitive. So for me, it really pushes me. Yes, exactly. And I'm working on it continuously every single day. And as kids too, they get frustrated easily and things like that. So having a patient teacher and leader like yourself is phenomenal.
Well, they get impatient because they don't understand. Hey, and teaching them, and a lot of people, especially kids, some are visual, some are audio, some are kinesthetic. And so learning how to teach a kid and how they're understanding it is a skill for instructors, And so, you said you master a lot of things. Did you master you?
I'm still working on it.
There you
work
go.
in progress every single day.
But isn't that's what, when people say you're a master, I said, no, I'm not a master. They said, but you created your own system, your own style. I said, yes, I did. But they said, well, you have to be a master. I said, I'm not a master. I'm learning to master me first. Once I master me, then I'll go on to mastery.
Yes.
And to do that means, because if I'm a master, where do I go?
You can't.
So, that's right. So learning to master myself means I'm constantly open.
Yeah.
Everybody can teach me something.
Absolutely.
And I'm open for it because, again, if you want to teach me something, I promise you I'll be your best student. Why? Because I'm hungry to learn. I want to know. And I will be your best teacher or your best student. Why? Because when you tell me something, I will work it. While you're sleeping, I will be working on it because that's just my nature. I want to know. And so mastering yourself means to turn yourself inside out. And to understand the voice of your soul. So learning to hear the voice of your soul, because I ask people, how many voices do you have in your head? Some will say, I got a lot of them. And some will say, I got legions of voices in my head. And that's only because we're catching everybody's vibration. And sometimes they don't realize it's not theirs. Just because they hear it in their head don't mean it's theirs. Yes. And so the teaching is about that. It's about turning yourself inside out, teaching you about you. And once you learn about you, and when you can master yourself, then you can move on. So for the first part of my life, I've been learning pain. The second part, I'm healing pain. And so in the healing pain means healing my mind, body, and my soul. Hey, so I can only listen to one voice. Instead of legions of voice, only one voice. And that's the voice of my soul. So learning the voice of my soul means I hear that voice that people say, that intuition,
Yes.
I'm gonna listen to it. So I learned to listen to that one voice. The voice of my soul is usually the one that's correct and guiding me, showing me the right way. So on this journey, it's a roller coaster ride of emotions up and down. And that's the power, not the destiny. It's the journey of going up and down with emotions. Beautiful. And how not you deal with them, is how you heal them. And that's where we're at. We're at a healing process.
You're an amazing man, amazing soul. And one last thing, if you can give us one last tidbit for the world to hear advice from Benny the Jet, what would be the one thing you would love to say to the world?
You know, the most important of all is we all have rules. And the most of all is about loving yourself. Because again, you know, if I can tell the world of anything, to learn to love yourself first, because when you love yourself, you can be by yourself. You don't need anybody's love to make you feel loved. You don't need anybody to tell you how great you are when you know deep inside that, you know, you are. You know, when you were born with this beautiful gift. And, you know, you're worthy of all the love and all the financial freedom and all the things you do. You deserve every bit of it.
Yes.
And so if anything that you can take from this is about remembering that you are, you are beautiful. And, you know, you came in here with such a talent. Don't ever forget that. Forget what you know. Hey, I mean, forget what what you've been taught. Hey, but don't forget what you know, because what you know is what you came in with. Hey, and what you've been taught is from other people. Don't forget what you came in this world with, and that's your brilliance. That you are brilliant and you're worthy of all the love and happiness. So with that, I give to you that you will take it in new beginnings.
I love that. One of my principles in life too, and always remembering that you are enough. And no matter what, and you're perfect just the way you are. And we've been honored to be here at Team Karate Centers today, and you can find them on the website. Thank you so much to Benny the Jet, such an incredible man. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of your world today. And so where do we find you on social media so we can follow you, or your website?
You know, just bennythejet.com. I mean, you can't beat that. However, but basically, my new website is coming up, and at the same time, I designed a whole new line of equipment, and I designed a whole new line of machines. I designed a whole new line of jetware.
Great.
And coming to your neighborhood soon.
Good.
But actually, it's all being patented right now. And for the first of the year, there will be something new and improved. That for the ones that like to challenge themselves and want to go to beyond the call of duty. Hey, those are the extremists. I got something for you.
I'm in. You heard it first. Thank you so much again. It's been such a pleasure speaking with you.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you, guys. You've joined us here live with Benny the Jet. We've been here at Team Karate Centers, and you can find him on social media and all over the web. And thank you again. You can follow me at Traci Lynn Cowan, TLC Unleashed, and Hollywood Vibe and Entertainment, Hollywood Vibe Sports and Life, every Wednesday, 4 p.m. on the Power of Voices. Until next time, thanks, Benny.
Ciao, ciao.
Oh, you're amazing. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Oh, that was amazing. Thank you.